Hey, it's Steven here from Marketplace Superheroes, and in this video I'm going to break down another 5 products you absolutely must avoid when you're selling on Amazon. Now, before I do anything, by the way, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let's get right into it. So we did a video a while ago, 10 products you should avoid. A lot of people liked it. Unfortunately, for some of our heroes, our members and non-members, they said, yeah, some of these products are in my business in some cases, and sometimes they're ones I'm considering doing. So we're making these videos quite often now to really highlight different products you absolutely shouldn't be doing. I'm going to break down 5 today. I'm going to explain why you shouldn't do them, what's not good about them. We'll actually look at them together and we'll make some decisions together on exactly why you should avoid them. So the first one, I'm going to pop over to my screen now, is the Bento Box. All right, so I've searched Bento Box, as you can see on screen right now, and there's 5,000 results for Bento Box. So straight away, it's less than 10,000 is something we talk about in the program. However, we're really looking for products that have less than 1,000. It's something we've talked about on the channel before, 1,000 search results on Amazon. And the reason for that is obviously there's less competition, there's less search results, which is also good as well. So it's going to be easier, inverted commas, for us to stand out. Now, when it comes to a Bento Box, when we look at the screen here, there's just so many different types, right? These different colors. It's the same brand, I know, but there's different colors. So you have to think about that. Different styles, right? So we've got these clear ones, we've got these more colorful ones. When we scroll down, that's a similar, it's the same, it's not the same brand look, but it's so similar. Different patterns for kids with unicorns. I mean, we've got space travelers, well, astronauts. Okay, let's use the correct English, Stephen. We've got lots of other stuff here as well, right? So what we would call this is a confused market. And it's confusing because if you were a customer, you put yourself in the shoes of the customer, like, what are they going to even choose here? You're looking at things like, there's BPA free and stuff like that. That's one feature, right? It's also a benefit of the product too. That's one thing people may be looking for, but there's so many people doing those kinds of products now, they don't really stand out anymore. So it's so hard to get ourselves into a situation where we would stand out. Then you've got things like these ones that are, more sustainable in materials. There's chopsticks and all that kind of stuff. So a Bento Box is a bad idea. Number one, because the search results are a little bit out of whack, right? We'd like less search results. But the real reason I'd never do a Bento Box straight away is it's too confused, it's too subjective. And you want to try and avoid products where it's subjective in that, like, there's so many different designs and people have to try and make a decision on what design they're going to go for. You want to be selling products that are really simple, they're quick to understand, and people don't have to spend an entire day trying to figure out what the style they're going for is. That's why, clothes are very difficult to do. Even drapery, stuff like that, curtains, things of that nature. They're really hard because of this fact. Now, at the same time, it's also a positive. Like, if you do hit on a design that is really popular, then it's going to do well for you in a market like this. But it's getting it to stand out, getting it in front of the customer as well is difficult. Now, we can see some of these Bento Boxes, they're using Amazon sponsored products. That's something we absolutely recommend. But again, because it's more competitive, what's going to happen in this market is the average cost per click on Amazon is going to increase. Why? Because there's only so many spots here in the sponsored products. Therefore, if there's more supply, less spots, we've got a supply and demand issue. Therefore, the price to drive traffic to these products is simply going to keep on increasing. And as you can see, like, some of these products here, I'm sure if we click into this one, let's just see how it's doing. So we'll just scroll down. And we can see, like, they've got a really nice listing, all that jazz, which you have to have. And it's 9,962 in kitchen and dining. So it's 53 in Bento Boxes. So obviously it's not the number one best-selling Bento Box. If we actually just take a look, I should have actually clicked through there. Let's just do that. Let's just go down to Bento Boxes and go in this way just to make sure we get the exact number one in Bento Boxes. So the number one is this one. I've actually bought this before, not this particular size. But there you go, right? $79.99. It's a big meal prep. So it's actually, here's the other thing, right? That's a meal prep container. It's not even really a Bento Box. Bento Box is a search term they've utilized because it's kind of a Bento Box, but it's not really. See, again, it's another subjectivity issue. That product particularly is selling pretty well. I believe it's doing really well. Let's just see where it is. So we go, 62 in kitchen and dining, right? It's selling thousands, hundreds and probably thousands of units a day, which is great for that company. But again, it's just a category and a product we want to keep away from. So with that said, let's jump over to the next product. Competition time. As always, we do competitions to win things like these hoodies and other stuff that we have. I'm not gonna say lying around because that makes it sound not cool. But anyway, really quickly, the question is very simple. It's not even a question. All you gotta do is type this in. How much more easy can we make it for you? Give me a hashtag niche down. It's on screen right now, NICHE. If you're in the States or Canada, places like that, you might say niche. I'm not gonna say that because I'm Irish and I'm trying to be a little bit French. So niche down. Please give me that hashtag and it's just letting us know you're enjoying the video. Back to the video. Said videos too many times. Now, product number 2 is a pet grooming brush. Obviously, it does what it says in the tin. It grooms a pet, right? But why would we sell it or why would we not want to sell it? Why should we avoid it? Let's go take a look. So when we type in pet grooming brush into Amazon, first of all, we see here there's 2,000 results, and you could even go with pet brush, and you can see there's 2,000 here again, right? So again, it's less than 10,000 as we talk about, and it's getting closer to 1,000. But yet again, what have we got here? We've got a lot of issues. We've got subjectivity, right? Number one. So this one here and this one here, right? These are very different designs. They've got a lot of different features. They got very different price points, so that's not good. You got a bath brush for a dog, which looks interesting, and that is different to a pet grooming brush. But just because I searched pet brush, that's coming up now, right? And there's lots of other, there's even these gloves you can use as well. And if you're interested and you're a big fan of pets, you're gonna know like something like this. There's lots of different types. You've also got these other products that were like the furminators and all that, right? That help get fur off of an animal. You know, there's just so much out there, and that's the real problem. Like there's the furminator right now, right? And so that's undercoat de-shedding tool for dogs, right? Then you've got other ones that are just brushes. You got long hair, short hair. It's just it's just so hard. Like, what would you do to stand out? And you see a company like this, right? They're doing 4-grade ebooks, and that's another method of trying to stand out yet again. We don't do the digital bonuses really very much or at all, really, simply because it's just not part of our model. However, in something like this, I could see it being effective because it's dogs. But now you might say, well, Stephen, why would we not do it then? It's 2,000. It looks interesting. I think I could stand out here. Well, my question is, what would you do? Would it be a different color? Well, people are already doing that. Would it be additional bonuses? People are already doing stuff like that. Would it be a different product altogether, like the gloves? Well, maybe. So if we do, let's say, what would we call that one? Let's look at the glove for a second. So pet hair, a glove, let's just do, just to kind of pretty much what a customer would search. So it's 482 results of that, right? So it's getting a little better. We're sub 1,000 now. But when we scroll down, you can all see what? They're pretty much all the exact same product, this blue one, right? And there's ones doing a red one here and there. But people are doing gifts, they're doing 2-packs, you know. Everyone's copying each other here in this market. So again, I would probably avoid this because there's simply too many of the same product out there, and again, there's lots of people doing sponsored ads and they're the same products pretty much, slightly different images. This one, of course, they're breaking TOS. It's not the right kind of image they should be using. So it's just not a market we would want to get involved in. Now, this is obviously Amazon's choice, this one. So it's going to be selling well. It's going to be the one that Amazon are just seeing a lot of traffic to. And still, it's 24,000 in pet supplies, so it's out of range anyway. So look, that's just not something we want to do. I would not get involved in that kind of a product whatsoever. Even though the search results look good, it's one I would absolutely be avoiding. The third one now is a muscle roller. Now, why are we going to avoid muscle rollers? Well, number one, just a little background on a product like this. People would say, well, it's a fitness product. People are going to be very passionate about that item, right? Therefore, they're going to use it every day because they're passionate, and it's something that there's going to be a lot of search volume in, there's going to be a lot of demand in. And yes, like there is a lot of people who are buying these kinds of products, but the problem with muscle rollers, it's something we're going to see again and again here. It's a consistent theme. What one do you do? Because you've got these kind of muscle rollers that are more thin, and I think they would focus on a specific muscle group. Then you've got these more traditional muscle rollers. They're more like foam rollers. But these muscle rollers, like everyone's doing pretty much the same thing all the time. And there's companies like this, they're trying to do the little bonus that they're giving you, like a little workout plan or whatever. But really and truly, when you look at these, it's just too hard to stand out, and really, really too hard. Everyone's just doing the same kind of thing. And also a lot of these companies as well are going to be relatively big businesses, so they're probably going to be quite well known in their brand that they have, right? I mean, if we actually, let's just take a look at something. And this one here is the Idson muscle roller, right? So it looks, interesting. It's a muscle roller stick, right? But if we search that, we see they're all over the place. They're selling everywhere, so they look like they're a pretty big brand. Now, if we can find their website, that would be really interesting. So they may look like a bigger company and just be everywhere, but they mightn't be particularly big. So that's not it. So there we go. So yeah, it's hard. They seem too hard to find, which is cool. But they seem like they're selling on a lot of different sites. So this one here, then, in terms of bestsellers, 542 in health and household. So technically, it's in the wrong category, but it's clearly making a lot of sales, right? Which is fine. It looks like it's been around for a while too. It's been selling on Amazon for a while, so it's got a lot of search history. It's got a lot of reviews as well, so it's definitely been out there for quite some time. So it's something that for us to compete with, it's just not gonna. It's gonna be a non-starter. Like, their imagery is good as well, so they've really gone to town as much as they possibly can with this particular product. They have a lot of answered questions, so it's just. And again, they're fulfilled by Amazon, so that's probably the company there anyway. So yeah, they're not the biggest company in the world, but they look like they're obviously doing pretty well. So I would just avoid these muscle rollers, just again down to the fact that there's subjectivity involved, and also the search results, while they're 2,000, it can look interesting. It's just going to be way too hard to stand out. What would we do? Would we do a bonus product to go with this? Well, there's people doing that. Would we actually change it up and look at the genesis of the product? So muscle roller sticks do well. So what other kinds of muscle rollers are out there that we could sell that would stand out? And it just seems to me that's just something we would never want to do. So I would keep away from any of these fitness products, by the way. You've also got stuff like, skipping ropes for fitness. I would absolutely keep away from these products as well, as a little bonus for you today, because they're just way too competitive. Again, the search results look interesting, and then when you start looking down, you're just like, oh no. I know a person who bought these skipping ropes. They should never have done it. They were stuck with thousands of units of the product simply because they thought, I'm going to be able to stand out. I'm going to be able to drive people to my listing. And they just weren't able to. And if you look here, all these products, they always have people that are in sponsored. And even if you look at the sponsored products, like, which one would you do? This King Athletic is kind of interesting because they're giving you this workout program as well. But even here, like, I'm going to suggest this is already breaking TOS, because what you're supposed to do in Amazon, you're supposed to just show the product on its own in the first image, and the later images, then yes, you can. But stuff like this, I would just run a mile. Now, you can learn from some of these images, by the way, like these, for example. These can be effective, these kinds of images, right, with the little thing, arrows pointing to things and all of that. That can be effective. So even though we wouldn't do them, you can learn from them. I avoid all this stuff here. Amazon are going to clamp down on this eventually. It may not happen right now. Even here, like, see email attachment. I mean, I'm amazed these guys have not been punished on Amazon just yet. But there you go. That's the world we live in with some of these sellers, and that's why we would absolutely keep away from these kinds of products that are subjective and they're just too competitive. Quick side question for you. I'm really interested in hearing the answer. This is a survey. It's really simple to do. It's going to take you 2 seconds. Let me ask you really quick. So we looked at a lot of products here, and I'm interested to hear from you. Have you ever had any of these on your research list before? If you have, just give me yes, and you can even say all of them, or one of them, or two of them, however many you've had. So yes, and then your number, however many of these 5 you've had on your research list before. Really interested to see that. It's going to help me gauge where you are with your research. So please type that into the comments right now, yes and that, or just no. If you haven't, that's absolutely fine. Just say no, and I'd be really, really proud of you. Back to the video. The last 2 are really obvious. I'm going to go very quickly through them because they're going to be obvious as hell that you shouldn't be doing them. However, I do see people still researching them, so I want to make sure that you don't. So the 4th one we're going to look at today, the 4th one is going to be the yoga mat, right? Now, we talk about yoga mats a lot at Marketplace, and for good reason. They're a passion-driven market. Yes, there's a lot of demand in this market, but absolutely, like, I would keep well away. So when we search yoga mat, there's 3,000 results. I think that's even, that's even low. I mean, obviously, if we search yoga, there's 100,000. So yoga mat, there's 3,000. That's fine. But even here, it's the exact same thing. Like, what the hell would you do in the yoga market? People are going to be doing everything they possibly can. And so it's something you want to keep away from. And maybe you're wondering, watching this video, like, well, what do we do then instead of these kinds of products? And I just highly recommend you go check out our research videos on the channel. Should be one popping around here somewhere. Go and watch those videos, because you'll see what we're talking about. You'll see the kinds of products that we're looking for. You'll see how deep we started to go to start to find those kinds of products. We never would sell these top level products like this. I would also call these short tail products, so like yoga mat. Well, yoga mat is short tail, but if you had like, I don't know, yoga mat for men, that's a little bit more long tail, right? So we're trying to find these more niche, longer tail products. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to be longer keywords. They're just more long tail in that they're just not the most obvious products in the world, right? We looked at carboy carriers before. That's a niche product. It's a carrier that carries carboy, it's big glass thing that's used for cider production and things like that, right? So it's very niche. Whereas a yoga mat, it's not that niche. Like yoga is a niche, yes, but it's not niche down. Does that make sense? So that's why we want to avoid these kinds of products too, as well as just being overly subjective and being so hard to compete in, and also just being so many people doing it. The last one is the one I really beg of you. Do not sell this product. Do not let me see you selling this product unless you have a massive budget. And it is, of course, I'm going to type it in here right now, is the very well-known water bottle. So water bottles here, there's thousands and thousands of water bottles on Amazon. I mean, it's insane. And look what happened there. I literally just went from water bottle, 10,000, to water bottles. And now we're at 60,000. It's just, and okay, yeah, you're getting stuff like smart water and things like that here, but this is a market that's just keep a million miles away. It's impossible. Like there's huge companies in here who are pumping a lot of money in, and the big thing that I would say of this market too, like obviously it's subjective, we can all see that. It's really confused. You never know what to buy, but it's just there's so much simpler things out there, and I don't know why anybody would want to do a water bottle anymore anyway. And it's funny because even the water bottles that I buy, they're all pretty poor quality anyway. They're not that good, like, so I don't know why no one's really nailed it, but keep away from this product. Just don't do it. No, nothing, please. I'm lost for words, so do not do that one. And that's it for this video. Hope you really enjoyed it. A few things, as always. Number one, like this video. People say smash a like, but I don't want you smashing anything, but please do give us a like. And number two, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon. Why? Because whenever we launch a video, you're going to know about it, and that's important because you want to be at the top of your game. And that's what we do here. And also, finally, please leave us comments. We asked you to do a couple of kind of fun comments. I think they were fun anyway. Maybe I'm weird. We asked you to do some fun comments in this video. Please do comment. It helps us get this video in front of more people and spread the good word of Marketplace Superheroes. And I appreciate you doing that. It's going to cost you nothing. It's going to help us out massively. And that's what it's all about. So look, thank you very much for watching this video. As always, if you're not part of the Marketplace Superheroes world, get yourself down to the description. Click on the link or in the first pinned comment and jump over to our website, and we will give you some free training to help you get your Amazon business up and running. Even if you're going from scratch, you're more advanced, you'd like to learn how we do things, how we sell on a global scale, how we sell simple, everyday, boring products, and we make them work, you can learn how to do that for free. So click in there right now and get yourself over there. And for those of you who are part of our world and continue watching this video, thank you for the support. I'll see you in the next video.